First off, I just want to address my last video. It was about Tansa talking about The World Ends With You and potentially how that might mean Neku could possibly be coming to Smash. I was actually arguing against that, saying that it seemed more like it was probably something for The World Ends With You specifically and not having to do with Smash. Anyway, while I was uploading the video, Tansa actually responded to questions about this and confirmed that it was not about Super Smash Bros. So what had happened was someone over on Reset Era was talking about how The World Ends With You fans had been waiting a long time for a proper second game, and Tansa responded with, "Your soul won't be crushed eventually." However, this was in a Super Smash Bros. DLC thread, and Tansa has leaked Square characters coming to Smash in the past, such as Cloud and Hero, so people were thinking this might mean Tansa was hinting at Neku coming to Smash, but Tansa has now said that isn't the case. Tansa was asked, "Sorry to bother you, but I've just been seeing this article all over the place recently, and I'm wondering if you hinted at Neku for Smash or not. Sorry if it's just misinformation, I just wanted to clarify." Tansa responded, "Not Smash." I made sure to say in the description of my last video that Tansa was saying this was not for Smash, and I even pinned a message about that as well. And even in the video I had filmed before Tansa had said this, I came to the conclusion, actually right from the start, I was saying that it seemed way more like Tansa was talking about The World Ends With You getting a sequel, and not anything to do with Neku coming to Super Smash Bros. Or something like that. If you want to see everything going on with that potential The World Ends With You sequel leak, feel free to watch that video. And there's some other good stuff in there as well. I do talk about Neku potentially coming to Smash, but I mean, if you just take that as like speculation, how I feel about that character, and obviously just because Tansa isn't leaking it, that doesn't mean Neku is out of the running to get into Smash. It could still happen. So, you know, if you want to just look at some Neku World Ends With You and Smash speculation, the video is still worth watching for that. And the whole second half of the video is actually about how the Mother and Earthbound series are getting a lot of attention lately, how Porky's spirit is missing, stuff like that. There's still good stuff in that video, so if you feel like watching, go ahead. What I want to talk about today is Amiibos, or Amiibo listings. On the official Super Smash Bros. Amiibo listing webpage, there's something odd that's going on. I was told this was first noticed by Epic Chew on my Discord, so props to them. If you go on Nintendo.com to the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Amiibo Features webpage, there's a really strange missing spot that's happening on there. If you scroll down between the Sonic and Toon Link Amiibo, there's a coming soon spot, and there's just a blank spot there, and we're not really sure who that's a blank spot for. The page is in alphabetical order, and it does have Amiibos that aren't necessarily Smash Amiibos, but work with Smash, such as the Mario Odyssey Mario characters, or the Yarn Yoshi Amiibos. Since we don't have any future Amiibos announced right now, it's really strange there's a missing spot on that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Amiibo website. This also wouldn't be the first time that potentially a website glitch could lead us to, you know, a character in Smash. We've actually had this happen before. We had a music track for Castlevania show up on the official Super Smash Bros. Page, I think a day before Simon Belmont and Richter Belmont were announced for Smash. And of course, we had that SNK copyright leak before Terry was announced. So websites having glitches has led to Smash characters before, so these are worth looking at. My Discord has been discussing this, and there's a few theories proposed, so let's go over them. Alright, so let's go down the possibilities of what could be going on here for this strange missing spot between Sonic and Toon Link. So that would mean that the character either starts with an S or starts with a T, and they'd either have to be, if it starts with an S after the letter O, or if it starts with a T before the letter O, as Sonic and Toon Link. Again, this is alphabetical. Now we know our next character to get announced is going to be coming from the ARMS series, and could this be an Amiibo for an ARMS character? If it was, the characters that fit in that spot would be Springman or Springtron. Obviously, Springman's an assist trophy already in the game, but he is sort of the face of ARMS. It does seem like, because they showed the whole ARMS roster, I feel like if it was Springman, they would have just said so from the start, but it's still a possibility, so could this be Springman's Amiibo spot? We are supposed to get the ARMS rep revealed in June, and obviously we're approaching June here, so it would be the right time to, if they announce Springman, they could announce his Amiibo right alongside with him. Maybe that's what this website is getting ready for. Now, of course, the main problem with this theory is that we don't have any of the first Fighters Pass characters as Amiibos yet. None of those Amiibos have been announced. So you would think the first Fighters Pass would get Amiibos announced before the first character of our second Fighters Pass got an Amiibo announced, but it's possible it doesn't go down that way. We have had characters happen out of order. For instance, Piranha Plant's amiibo was pretty early on in the Smash Ultimate amiibos, even though Piranha Plant was our first DLC. Actually, some base roster characters came after Piranha Plant, so it's possible if Springman is our ARMS rep, they could put out his amiibo before they do the first Fighters Pass set of amiibos, but it's still a little odd and probably unlikely. The main issue with this train of thought, despite the fact that we have had amiibos release out of order for when they've been announced, such as, again, Piranha Plant being DLC and some base game characters' amiibos actually being released after Piranha Plant's amiibo, is that the first Fighters Pass sort of coincided with the base game. We got Joker right away as soon as Smash was released. Well, at least we had Joker shown off to us as soon as Smash was released. And then the first Fighters Pass was apparently all we were supposed to get until they decided to do a second Fighters Pass, somewhere along the line. So it feels like if they were going to actually get production of amiibos set up for the first Fighters Pass, that would already kind of happen before the second Fighters Pass. It'd be really strange if that first Fighters Pass, which was always supposed to get amiibos, was passed over to start off with Springman amiibo and then go back and do those amiibos later. It just feels like if Springman wasn't ever intended to be, in the game until they decided on that second Fighters Pass, that the order does sort of matter here. And I do suspect our first Fighters Pass will start to get amiibos before our second Fighters Pass does. So if it's not Springman or our ARMS rep, what are the other possibilities here? Well, it's right after Sonic, and Sonic is sort of a major iconic character, kind of like Mario or Mega Man, both of which have gotten gold amiibos. So there is this sort of thing where we get certain characters get like a special limited edition amiibo, which is basically just a painted gold one, and it could be possible Sonic could get a gold amiibo to celebrate something, maybe some new game or something that's going on. We do have the gold amiibos listed on the Super Smash Bros. Page because they work with the game, so getting Sonic as a gold amiibo would be placed right here, right after Sonic, and it could fill up that spot. So that's one possibility for what could be going on here. Another one would be someone from our first Fighters Pass has an amiibo coming out, and that's what's going to fill that spot. If we look at our first Fighters Pass, we do have a character that would fit in this spot. That would be Terry. He's T-E alphabetically, which would come before Toon Link and after Sonic. So Terry's amiibo could be what's this placeholder is for. Our first Fighters Pass started off with Joker, and then Hero, then Banjo, and then Terry. So Terry was later on in the Fighters Pass, but once again, like I said with Piranha Plant, these don't always release in the order in which the characters were revealed, so Terry could be our first Fighters Pass amiibo. For whatever reason, maybe they started off with Terry. So maybe this is getting prepared for that. Maybe when Sakurai announces who our ARMS rep is, he'll also show off, that some of the first Fighters Pass amiibos are getting ready to get released and give us a date for that. And maybe Terry's the first one, and that's what the page is getting ready for. I keep bringing up Piranha Plant since they were DLC, and yet their amiibo was released before some of the base game characters, and there is actually something odd going on with Piranha Plant on this page. Piranha Plant isn't listed on this page. So I think what might be going on here is that Piranha Plant was a DLC character, and this is a page for what amiibos are compatible with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. If you don't have the DLC for Piranha Plant, that amiibo technically I think isn't compatible with the game. It has to have that DLC character to work with, so that might be why Piranha Plant's absent from the page. However, there's actually other characters that are base game characters that are also absent from the page, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on here. Some of the other missing characters are Richter, Dark Samus, and Squirtle. These are base game character amiibos, so they should be on this page as they'd work with the game whether or not you have the DLC. The missing amiibos such as Piranha Plant, Squirtle, Dark Samus, and Richter are on other amiibo pages on that official Nintendo website, so it is just a little strange that they're absent on this Smash one. Also, despite these characters being missing from the page, they don't have like a blank spot for coming soon, except for potentially Squirtle, as Squirtle actually fits between Sonic and Toon Link, so could this spot be Squirtle? The biggest issue with this coming soon spot being for Squirtle is that we do have the Ivysaur amiibo on the page, and those released alongside each other, so it would be weird that the page updated and added Ivysaur and they didn't add Squirtle. We also have characters like Simon Belmont who were released after the Ivysaur and Squirtle amiibos were released, so those are on the page, so that's a little strange. We don't have, like I said, Dark Samus and Richter, who were the newest amiibos to get added, so maybe the page isn't up to date, but it's still strange to have a coming soon spot that could fill in for Squirtle, but having amiibos that actually happened alongside Squirtle, like Ivysaur, and amiibos that happened afterwards, like Simon Belmont. So I'm not sure if this spot's actually for Squirtle. Also, for it to say coming soon sort of implies it's at some later date, and again, these amiibos have have the date associated with them, and Ivysaur's is when Squirtle happened, Simon Belmont's is after when Squirtle happened, so it feels like somebody had to go in the code and actually add that coming soon banner, so I don't know, it feels like they're gearing up to add something to this page. Now at the end of the day, this may just be a website glitch, but like I said before, glitches and errors on websites have led to interesting Smash information, such as that SNK copyright leading to us, finding out that an SNK character was going to be our next DLC, and it ended up being Terry. So this odd coming soon Amiibo spot may be worth looking at. Again, it might just be an error, but it could potentially lead to something. Potentially Springman coming to Smash, if that's the character that, is getting an Amiibo and would fit that spot, or potentially something slightly more mundane, but still interesting, such as Terry getting an Amiibo soon, and that spot being for Terry. If anyone out there has any other theories for what could be going on with this one, or if people think one of the theories I've presented here seems the most plausible, I'd love to hear what people think about all this. And then a final note before I end this video, something interesting happened over on Twitter. So at Nintendo of Europe wrote, "That's a cool red helmet you're wearing, Mario. Are you battling something under there?" And then it showed the end screen of that Paper Mario trailer where Paper Mario is wearing a Samus paper mache helmet. This same exact tweet was also tweeted out by Nintendo of France, so it's pretty interesting that they're tweeting this and specifying on that odd ending to that Paper Mario trailer. Does feel like something Metroid might get announced soon here. Also the fact that they've specified battling, and I think the trailer also specified battling, could potentially be hinting at like Paper Mario coming to Smash. I mean, Smash is all about battling and stuff. I don't know, it really seems more like they're focusing on the Metroid aspect that's happening here, but they have highlighted that battling thing, so it's just something of note. Pretty interesting. I don't know what's going on there. Alright guys, well that's everything I want to talk about in this video. If you guys have any thoughts or comments about any of the stuff we talked about, feel free to leave them below. So once again, thank you guys for all the subscribes, all the likes. It really helps out the channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so, or like the video, or leave a comment, whatever you want. Until next time, have a good one.